Ah, so Jenny Wise here. Just want to take a minute to share a story and then also invite you to our masterclass recording if you did not get a chance to register for our live class today. So, if you watch this recording, I want you to maybe close your eyes or have a soft gaze. You don't have to. If you're driving while you listen to this or you're busy doing something else at the same time, you don't need to do that. It's not required. But I wanted to share a story around my breakthrough of imagining me driving in a car. I'm driving the car on the way back from being in a counselor's office, and I'm crying. I'm crying, I'm sobbing to the point where I actually have to pull my car over to the side of the road. And that particular point of just like you maybe feeling overwhelmed or stressed, or just like you dealing with depression and anxiety and insomnia at the time. And that was my dark night of the soul. And so I had to pull my car over because I was at this point of overwhelm where I had already been taking sleeping pills. Thank God it was the one time in my life that I needed to take sleeping pills. But I was already taking sleeping pills and I was recommended to try different anxiety medicine. Well, I tried the anxiety medicine for about a month and it did not work for me. And so my body was screaming, was telling me, something needs to change, right? I was at that point of burnout, going into a full breakdown, and my emotions were screaming, something has to change. And so a counselor recommended that I go into yoga, to try yoga and meditation. And so that was my pivot point of going on 10 years of studying cognitive behavioral change and mindfulness and ways to deal with difficult emotions and handle difficult emotions and stay calm while handling these difficult emotions, to be able to deal with different thought patterns. And how do you train toxic thoughts? How do you reframe and redirect toxic thoughts? And many other things on this yoga psychology journey that I'm on. And so that was my pivot point to ultimately end up where I am now, just like you, that you've struggled with burnout or depression or anxiety or insomnia or overwhelm or stress, or feeling like you're on that tipping point of one more thing could happen, right? And you're at that tipping point of feeling like you're about to have a breakdown, right? So many of us are that one thing happening, right? So maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's losing your job, maybe something happens with your kids. And it's that one thing, right, where you might have felt like you were barely hanging on, and that one thing happens and you feel like you're at your breaking point. So I'm here to share with you, that was my dark night of the soul and why I do what I do now. And so one of the most important shifts and transformations that I've made has been the way I speak to myself, and that I can speak to myself very kindly and gently. And this was not something that was in my vocabulary, right, prior to this, right? When I was in my corporate job, or even when I first 5 years or so of me starting my yoga business, I was not speaking to myself gently. And I am a recovering perfectionist. And I had all the imposter syndromes, right? Or all the inner critics: imposter syndrome, taskmaster, which is a workaholic, perfectionist, all the things, right? Where I was trying to prove my worth and prove that I was enough. And this all connected to the wounds that were not healed for me as a child, right? And generational trauma. And that's a whole nother discussion. But it's been a 10-year journey for me around healing these patterns and really being able to let go and redirect toxic thoughts. And also to be able to function at a very high level as far as being able to connect to my creativity, being able to be innovative, be able to problem solve, all these pieces, because I have cleared out all the thoughts and I've calmed my mind to be able to perform at a higher level. So I'm here to share that you can shift and change any thought, emotion, or behavior pattern. So if you were not able to join us today, we want to invite you to still be able to register. And this is, again, Heal Our Inner Critic and Boost Our Self-Worth Masterclass. And when you register at this point, you will get a recording. Now, if you've already registered, you can ignore this, and you will be able to get a recording that will already be sent to you. So again, I took the students through a guided meditation, through breath work, through some journaling exercises and some other visualizations and affirmations. And so it was a very practical masterclass that was really more of almost like a working masterclass or almost like a working workshop to take you through some practical things that you can take with you on your journey and taking you deeper into the next step of your transformation. So I'm sending you so much love, light, and blessing. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste, and we look forward to connecting with you here.